Hey, what's going on? It's Luke Mann, and I just wanted to riff a little bit about playing the guitar, getting excited to play the guitar, and what makes us excited to play the guitar, and why maybe you're not playing guitar as much as you want to. And ultimately, of course, if you do that, then you're probably not getting as good at the guitar as you want to, and when you're not as good at the guitar as you want to be, well, you don't play guitar as often as you should. So it's kind of like this spiral of bummer stuff. But instead you want this awesome epic upwards spiral of epicness, of course. You want to be picking up the guitar, you want to be really excited when you see that guitar, you want to be walking away from it waiting for the next time when you pick up the guitar and knowing that it was going to be a great session when you do pick up that guitar eventually. So one rule of thumb that I always tell myself, one thing that I'll always kind of forget and then remember to do, is just pick the damn thing up. That's the hardest part. The hardest part is not practicing, it's not discipline, it's not being really, really good at the guitar. The hardest part is picking the damn thing up. Because once you pick it up, odds are you're probably going to sit there and play it for a long time. Because just in the same way that it's very hard to pick the damn thing up, it's very hard to put the damn thing down. Once you have the guitar, once you're feeling that momentum, once you're going through the riffs and the grooves, and it feels really good, you don't want to put it down. Just like, the bath water is finally nice and warm, now I don't want to get out. That's what I did when I was a young kid. I didn't want to get out. I didn't want to get in, but then I didn't want to get out. So that's one thing. Just pick the damn thing up. How easy is that? Just execute on that. Boom. Alright? But then maybe you have been consistently or regularly picking the guitar up. You've been so disciplined in picking that guitar up every single day. And what happens, you kind of get burnt out. You kind of get bummed out on running through the same familiar patterns. Perhaps you even are challenged by one particular piece or one particular solo or what have you, and now you're like, man, I really wish that I could play this, but I don't. And then that's when the depression sets in, when you get discouraged. And then it's like, what do you do in that point? Do you just keep on going? Do you just keep plowing through this inner resistance? Well, what I would do then is probably get a mentor. But I'm always saying that, so that's not like a big deal. I would just say it's important to actually have a plan to get you out of that. But at the same time, it is healthy to take a break every now and again, especially if I personally am playing one thing and I'm consistently playing it the wrong way, or I keep messing up on that one particular riff. Just walk away. Just walk away from it. When I was a kid, when I was young and naive, I would try to muscle that riff into place with brute strength. I would just only dwell on that riff that I wasn't playing the right way, and ultimately I gave it more power. I was only making it worse and worse every single time. So now when I notice like, hey, I can't play this riff that I normally am doing pretty well on, I just start to play something else. I don't dwell on it, not in the slightest. Now, there's a couple things I have written down that you have spoken, the group has spoken and kind of told me, hey, this is what gets me excited about playing, is of course a jam setting. How amazing is that? But probably some of you are thinking, I don't have any buddies that can jam. I barely even know people that can jam. All right, well, if you barely know any people that can jam, well, you can comment below and you can say, hey, I'm looking for guys to jam. Even if we end up having a virtual jam, that's a beautiful thing. But an easy way to make some good friends, if you want to jam with some people, is just go down to the local music shop, or maybe you have a guitar center. Guitar center, there's always somebody making way more noise than they need to, probably. You could go sit down next to them and also make way more noise than you need to. That's a beautiful thing. That's a good way to get hooked up with some musicians if you don't know any musicians. But I recommend playing with people that are much better musicians than you, because if you play with people that are at your level or below your level all the time, it's going to be fun, but you're not going to learn as much as you will by playing with people that are at a greater level than you are. So there is definitely value to take from playing with people that are at the same level or a lower level than you of playing. Absolutely value to take from that, as well as value to give, and that's a beautiful thing too. So another thing people are saying is new riffs. New riffs. Well, what's wrong, man? Have you been playing the same riffs this whole time? You've been playing the same riffs this whole time, and you're in this amazing group, and you haven't asked any questions about how to play this this new riff? Well, you only got yourself to blame for that. So make sure to ask some real questions. Get to know about whatever the new riff is. Is it a Van Halen riff? Is it Yngwie Malmsteen? David Gilmour? Could be D, all of the above. I feel that way too. When I get a new riff, but personally it's a new technique. If I get a new technique going, then I'm like a kid again. I used to carry my guitar around to Walmart, movie theater, wherever, because I wanted to practice my alternate picking so bad. And you know, at this point I know the exact steps to take to get my alternate picking up really fast, because I have a process called the speed building blueprint. But it provides for me a lot of security, because then it's like I don't need to shed this all the time. But when I have a new technique, whether it's thumping or recently economy picking, I learned how to play some economy picking very fast, very smooth. That was so fun. I just got so excited again about a new method of playing the stuff that I already know. That's really cool. I like stuff like that. So I would say, yeah, new riffs are great, but new techniques, whatever gets you going. Somebody wrote down chicks. Yeah, you know, music has always been around to being kind of idealized by attracting that dream partner, right? Seeing him or her across the room, the cigarette smoke filled room, and you're just jamming that sick solo, or you're at that party with the bonfire. Yeah, and you want to know how to play a song and sing along to that song, and ideally everybody else sings along with you, and then knows that you're the cool guy at that party or the cool girl at that party. Yeah, so that's very cool as well. So to do that, you want to make sure you have your chords together. You know how a key works. That's an amazing thing. If you know a key and you know a scale, and then you can also sing that scale, you're really putting together the fundamentals to be a musician. For a long time, I was a guitar jock, but not necessarily a musician. And when I say that, I mean I was shredding, playing all these riffs and solos, but you know, if you held a gun to my head and said, hey, entertain this party, you know, I couldn't, you know, because what you'll find out very soon, if you haven't already, is that people don't, like regular people, they're not really excited to watch you burn through scales or play your pentatonic licks. They want to hear a song, preferably one that they know. So if you can't like sing along and hold down chords for a song that people know, yeah, their eyes are probably going to avert their attention elsewhere. This is a lesson that I learned pretty fast, or pretty slow maybe. Anyway, yeah, you can think about all of these different methods, techniques, or of getting yourself hyped up and wanting to play the guitar. And if you have any questions on this stuff, or if you resonated, I'd be actually genuinely interested to know. You can comment below, say, hey man, I resonated with this for that reason. I would be curious to know, actually. But besides that, yeah, I'll be in the group. I got my eyes on this group. Talk to you soon. Goodbye.